Welcome everyone. Don't mind that. Welcome everyone to the class of 22 graduation. Your support over the last years has been phenomenal, and you being here today is another great example of that support. Thank you for all the parents, families, teachers, staff, and Mr. Coberly, Miss Crawford, and the board for being here. And don't mind that. Sorry. And enjoy and celebrate with us on this day God has given us.
All right, cool. We made it. About time too. Haley and Calla were running out of stuff to watch on Disney Plus in the library. Actually, Calla pirates her movie, so she could have lasted a little longer. Well, so as I was trying to figure out what kind of speech to write for graduation, I couldn't figure out what I really wanted to do. Would I write a funny speech? Maybe, but I didn't want to risk telling a joke and then Reese have a Will Smith moment. Would I write a serious speech about how we're going on a new journey and starting a new chapter in our lives? Well, no, because everyone does that. Would I give advice to my class? No, that's Mr. Samuelson's job, and given his track record, it's going to be a half-hour-long lecture on the coaching style of John Wooden. And then I thought, I like to tell stories, and chances are people might pay more attention to a story than a speech. So instead, I'll tell the story of our class. 13 years ago, a group of young, magnificent people set out on a journey. Over the course of this journey, they faced many challenges, but they overcame them and along the way made many memories, garnered many achievements, and learned many lessons that helped them grow into the strong characters they are today. Man, with that intro, kindergarten sounds pretty cool. And that's what we thought heading into kindergarten. At the tender ages of 5 and 6, we thought we were a pretty big deal. And we were about to use all the lessons we learned from Disney Channel to navigate school. Turns out, Disney Channel is bogus and is nothing like real life. Luckily, a few of us had older siblings to help us out. I had Annika, love you sis. Reese had Dylan, Haley had Nolan, Allison had Clayton, and so on. And that made it a little easier to figure our way through elementary school. Now, I'm not saying elementary school was that hard. I mean, we learned how to read, write, and do basic math, which, looking back, is a lot easier than college English and pre-calc. I'd go back to Mrs. White's class and do timetables and read Magic Treehouse any day. Second grade was similar to the first 2 years as we helped to break in Mrs. Todd to the Upton culture. And then things got a little different in third grade. That was the year we could go up into the trees during recess and play tackle football instead of two-hand touch, as long as there was a foot of snow on the ground, or when Mr. Coberly wasn't looking. That year, we learned multiplication and division and read a lot of books about dogs. Old Yeller, Savage Sam, and Shiloh still hold a dear place in our hearts. Thanks, Mrs. Crane. In fourth grade, we got to go on the big field trip to Casper. I don't know why anyone in their right mind would take fourth graders to Casper, but Mrs. Blahnik made sure we all survived Independence Rock, so I guess it works. In fifth grade, Mrs. Schmidt whipped us into shape for middle school, assigning us huge projects to do on pirates, inventors, and even Greek gods. Speaking of middle school, we had a lot of fun. Through sports, projects, NHD, and school dances, we had a good time. And we thought we were a pretty good group of middle schoolers, but that wasn't the case. Turns out you don't know how annoying middle schoolers are until you are no longer a middle schooler. On that note, on behalf of the class of 2022, I would like to apologize for everything we did, good, bad, and ugly. I apologize for the good because in the moments where we did do something good, it was shortly followed by us doing something very stupid, which was tough on our teachers. But despite that, we made it to high school. Our freshman year, we found that stuff started to matter. Stuff like grades and what classes we took would affect our entire high school lives. Sports were a lot more serious, and for the first time ever, we did not take the same classes together. The first semester took some getting used to, but by the end of the second semester, we were getting the hang of things, of course, with room to grow. Our sophomore year was one of the hardest years we ever had. As I mentioned before, some of us had siblings that were older and helped us out when we needed it. But now those siblings had graduated, and some of us were on our own. We got the hang of it, and things were going well till about early October. That was when we got the news that Shayna had passed away. And although she hadn't gone to school with us since 8th grade, it still hurt. She had been there since the beginning, and then she was gone. When some classes don't have to say goodbye to a classmate till their 30th or 40th reunion, we hadn't even finished 10th grade when she left. So today, we try to honor her with a cap with a teal butterfly painted on it. We've all signed the cap and placed it on a seat with the rest of our class. We hope she would have liked that. Afterwards, things got a little better. It was just a normal school year till March of 2020. Remember that? La Corona, without the lime. Yeah, that was rough. Actually, the first week or so was kind of nice, getting to stay home, watch Netflix, all that kind of stuff. But the rest of it was horrible. It lasted for most of our junior year, and in that time, we had a lot to do. Our class had to plan prom, take so many tests like the ACT and ASVAB, and a lot of us were on the student council and had to put homecoming together, plan fundraisers, stuff like that. And with sports and regular school, it was a long, tough year. Some of it was spent wearing masks, social distancing, and even quarantining, which didn't help. But we got through it, and we got through it successfully. Then we got to our senior year, and we had one thought at the beginning of this year when it came to school, and that was, in the words of Larry the Cable Guy, get her done. This year flew by, but not fast enough. And we have a lot of memories from this year alone, like all the senior nights for sports, our last homecoming parade, which we had the best float, again, Aloria biting Nathan while we waited to go to the college fair. Yeah, we didn't mature that much, but spying on the juniors while they set up prom, eating s'mores together, and then watching one of the stupidest horror movies ever made on our senior trip. And where's my spot? Oh, and then lastly, setting up our prank and roaming around the school at our senior campout. This year was fun, and it ended with us officially signing out Wednesday, competing in the state track meet this weekend, and now we're here in our caps and gowns. This is where the first part of our story ends. But what's significant about our story? Other classes have had similar experiences, and they've gone through what we've gone through, both good and bad. Why is our story different? Our story is different by some of the things we've achieved. During our time at UHS, our class had an average ACT score of 20.9, which is above the national average. We have collectively earned 111.5 college credits, just short of a bachelor's degree. We, as a class, have an average GPA of 3.5, and we earned over $1 million in scholarships. Athletically, we've been a part of 3 state championships, 2 state runner-ups, a few third-place state finishes, along with numerous playoff appearances in region championships. These things were able to happen because of the grit and perseverance our class gained over the past 13 years. That perseverance will guide us as we take on new challenges and as we enter this new chapter of our lives. Our story was able to happen because of the town we live in. Upton gave us a fun and safe place to grow up, which allowed us to develop into our individual characters. Our story was able to happen because we got to go to school in the greatest school ever. This school helped us not only to become smarter, but allowed us to find our passions and help figure out how we wanted to live out our passions and make our mark on the world. As I said earlier, this is the end of part 1 of our story. But there is a part 2, but it hasn't been written yet. Part 2 begins tomorrow, as does the rest of our lives. Now, I don't know what happens in part 2, but I'm pretty sure it'll be awesome. I like to imagine that in part 2, we all live our dreams, and whether that's becoming a teacher, a coach, nurse, dental hygienist, or even a rancher. I can see Mason becoming the best chef in Wyoming, Jerica at the head of SpaceX and being on a first-name basis with Elon Musk. And I imagine Dawson with a podcast sponsored by Smuckers where he eats Uncrustables and talks about the Bible with his guests called PB&J and Jesus. We will all lead great lives, and we will raise families, take on the workforce, and become the best versions of ourselves. Whatever our class does, it will be great. And although part 1 was pretty good, part 2 will be the greatest days of our lives. And we'll never forget where we came from. We'll never forget that we're Uptonites and came from the best town on earth. We'll never forget that we went to UHS and are Bobcats for life. Not only is every day a great day to be a Bobcat, but every day is great when you are a Bobcat. And although part 2 is unknown, I know we have the tools to make it great. Now, during quarantine, I watched a lot of the show The West Wing. For those of you who don't know, The West Wing is a political drama, so you can probably figure out why I liked it. In the show, the main character is President Josiah Bartlett. He is known for always asking, "What's next?" He always asks this when a job's been done and he was ready for something new and exciting. So guys, what's next? On behalf of the class of 2022, I'd like to ask all of you to wish us luck on part 2 of our story, and I'd like to thank the town of Upton and UHS for all the support and for being a great place to grow up. Thank you, God bless, and go Navy, beat Army.
Hello. To my friends, family, classmates, teachers, and administration, I'd like to welcome you to our graduation and thank you all for being here today. This ceremony is both a celebration of what we all have accomplished and a challenge for us to strive for even greater heights. Upton High School has made me into who I am today, and I'm lucky enough to stand up here in front of all you today as class salutatorian, aka the first loser. When I first heard the news that I had earned this role, I knew I would have to give a speech, and that was probably about 4 months ago. And I'm not going to lie, I waited till the last possible moment to write this, like actually. I wrote it at the state track meet in my hotel room yesterday. I was debating whether or not just to go with the usual and generic salutatorian speech, where I talk about the beautiful memories and give advice, but I decided to change it up a little bit. I created a class prophecy about the status of our lives as our 20-year class reunion comes about, the year 2042. I will go in order of what we sit up here today. Mason Anderson will have had much success in owning the best fish taco truck in the Tri-County area. Nathan will not be able to make it as he is at the hospital waiting for the arrival of his 15th kid and trying to figure out how much it will cost to add another room onto his house. I will most likely still be piggybacking off Lola's success and benefits from the National Guard. Cammie, of course, became a dental hygienist, but will close on a yacht with the settlement money she got from being bitten by too many young kids. Ashlyn and Aloria had a huge turnaround in their lives and started a foundation for stray animals and have a master class on kindness and compassion. Kala has officially trademarked the word and started her own sporting goods business called Swag. Luca has retired from the NBA and ended his time in the National Bowling Association with the record amount of career strikes and spares, and he is now the creator of the National Gritty Foundation. Luca, if you could please stand up and demonstrate for us. Jerica, after joining NASA, was lost in space after her new spacecraft malfunctioned, and none of us have heard from her since, except for little updates on the class group chat. Aiden will have become the commander of the U.S. Navy Pacific Fleet. Being the history buff that he is, he also legally changed his name to Chester after Chester Nimitz, the fleet commander during World War II. Garrett is also absent, as 10 years ago he discovered a way to combine virtual reality and Dungeons and Dragons. He still hasn't left the game. Allison, after retiring from her pro volleyball career, is now trying to relive her glory days in an AAU spikeball league, where she only plays against 8-year-olds. She is currently undefeated. Caleb has legally changed his name to his gamer tag, Obi-Wan. Dawson has graduated from the School for the Tall with a degree in ministry and is trying to be the first person ever to convert sloths to Christianity. Haley never found her cowboy, but did find a man with a lot of land and is now Princess of Monaco. Well, world, there you have it. The wild and interesting class of 2022. And if I could give you any piece of advice to my younger classmen, it's this. Don't take your life in high school for granted. I know everybody says that it goes by in the blink of an eye, but it seriously really does. So do your work, be kind to your teachers because they only want the best for you. Stay out of trouble and get off your phones. You can't live when you're in front of a screen Snapchatting and TikToking it up all day. And like my dad always says, you're living the best days of your life. So soak it all in. Your futures are just beginning. Thanks, Upton.
Welcome. Mr. Joe Samuelson was born and raised in Spearfish, South Dakota. He attended Spearfish High School, where he graduated in 2009. Later, he attended Black Hills State University, where he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Social Science Composite Education while being a student coach for the BHSU men's basketball team. He then obtained his master's in education in 2016. In 2013, Joe married Darian Thompson, according to her, the best thing that ever happened to him. He then taught history in Iowa for 2 years, teaching honor courses in government and contemporary affairs and credit recovery. In 2015, Joe and Darian moved to Upton, where he took the reins as a middle school social studies teacher, middle school football coach, and high school basketball coach. In that time, Coach Samuelson has coached 2 state champion teams and led his team to the state tournament every year he has coached. Together, he and Darian have 3 beautiful kids, Trey, Asa, and JoJo. Starting next school year, Mr. Samuelson will be the principal of Upton High School. And it's a really good thing you got the job. Otherwise, this would be awkward. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Joseph Samuelson to the stage.
Well, congratulations, you guys. This is a big day for you. I'm very, very happy for you. Honored to be a part of it with you. I'm a little bit surprised. Honestly, you guys have been around me for 7 years. You know I don't talk good, but here I am anyway. I'm honored still. This class is a very, very dynamic class. Those of you guys that maybe haven't got to be around them very much, they have great, great personalities, but they're very, very different, but they blend and they are able to interact very, very well along with each other. I haven't been able to be with all of them, I taught most of them, coached many of them. Some of them are new, and I've gotten to know them over the last year, which has been very, very special. Seeing them interact with each other on the senior trip was quite a highlight for me. But like I said, you got some different personalities. Nathan Baker and Luca Brooks are a good example. They have a great, great love for each other, respect for each other, but they're just so opposite. But they finally make it make it work. And like I said, it's kind of the epitome of what this class is about. It's going to be tough to say goodbye to this class. I was talking to my wife this morning. She's getting the tissues all ready to go and, getting herself prepared because today is going to be a day of waterworks. They're a tough class to say goodbye to. They're just built a little bit different. But going along with that, me and my wife kind of have this competition. We go back and forth. We both have an argument about, who's the more popular Samuelson. I have the microphone here, so. But the seniors also think that they're my favorite class. It's kind of common. I hear a lot of students, they'll say, well, we're your favorite class. And these guys are no different. We're your favorite. You love us. I do. Do I have a favorite class? Absolutely, I do. Do I share with who that class is? Absolutely not, for obvious reasons. I am leaving the classroom, though, and so, but I'm still going to keep that a secret. I'm taking that to my grave, guys. So I do love you, though. I do. I want to share a little bit, kind of what these kids have meant to me, getting to know them over the last few years, over the last 7 years. If you guys didn't know, I met these guys in 6th grade. And as you can imagine, they've undergone quite the transformation in that time. And I kind of wanted to share a little bit about the last 7 years of getting to know these guys. They're my first group of 6th graders, and so they're pretty special to me. In August 2015, I was introduced to a group of squirrely little 6th graders, the class of 2022. I was their homeroom teacher and therefore was responsible for them twice a day during other special occasions. I was coming from Iowa, where I'd been teaching part of the International Baccalaureate program, high school students. The change to middle school was quite an adjustment. They were a different kind of student than I was used to teaching. They were excited, enthusiastic, but lacked self-control and, let's call it, etiquette. This was the first place I encountered a problem with students flatulating in the classroom. Where I come from, that's not quite a badge of honor, but we learn to make it work. They don't teach you how to deal with that in college, but we got creative and we created some memories. This class is just a little bit different. Look where we are now. Look how far you guys have come. This has got to be one of the most decorated and distinguished classes per pupil in the state. You guys have heard some of what is shared already. But on the grounds of academics, extracurriculars, overall character, the class of 2022 displays excellence to a very high regard. In the area of athletics and activities, Allison Lauderbeck and Luca Brooks have both accepted athletic scholarships to go play their prospective sports at the next level. Haley Turner was an FFA state degree recipient. Caleb and Garrett helped pioneer an entirely new sanctioned activity of esports, not just in the high school, but across the state. In FBLA, Haley, Reese, Jerica, Aiden, and Dawson all placed top 4 at state and qualified for the national competition. Over their 4 years, this class has seen unprecedented success. Through all the sports, they produced 11 conference championships, 6 regional championships, 4 state third-place finishes, 2 runners-up, and 3 state championships. In all, 7 of these students were named All-State athletes and 2 Conference Players of the Year. In the area of academics, Aiden Coberly has an accepted appointment to the very prestigious United States Naval Academy, to me, one of the highest honors a high school student can receive. Aloria Miller has earned over $14,000 in academic scholarships and will be the first in her family to attend college. In all, the small class of 15 has been offered over $1 million in scholarship money. In the area of character, which I think is very, very important, and something I always try to pay attention to, this class has touched me in a very, very personal way. They've loved on my family, loved on my children. I'm very, very grateful. I have one story I want to share that resonated with me. I have many that I could share, but one that I want to share for now. Um, it was January, after a girls' basketball practice. I was getting ready to walk into the gym, and I noticed that there were a bunch of balls laying in the hallway. I like to stop and pause in these situations to see what kids are going to do. And I watched a number of underclassmen girls walk by the balls, not paying attention and not noticing the mess that was in the hallway. When I saw two girls stop, and they noticed that there were balls in there, and they picked them up and they put them away. It's Allison and Jerica. Those are two girls that they get it. They understand what leadership is about. They understand the attention to details and being servants. That's the epitome of what this class is about. This class is built just a little bit different. One of the things I've learned over the years here in Upton is that people grow. This class has helped me come to that realization because I've witnessed this squirrely bunch of boys and girls turn into highly respectable young men and women. This growth is part of our purpose as educators, to help you get to the next level of your journey. At times, it's easy to focus on the squirreliness or lack of self-control a student has, but by looking at this class, we can see it's all part of the journey and the process. Thank you for teaching us all that. I wish you the very best from here on out. Remember, this whole gymnasium has gathered to show you that we have your back and will support you every step of the way. This is what I want to leave you with as you prepare to tackle this journey of independence. Remember that you're always growing as a person, and growth can come with aches and pains. You'll experience hard times. It's the hard truth and the reality. John Wooden said, adversity often produces the unexpected opportunity. Look for it, appreciate it, and utilize it. You'll experience failure, but understand this is necessary. Failure is not the problem by itself. In fact, it's quite the opposite. But being afraid of it and letting it stop you is. Finally, always remember, nothing great comes without work. Whether that be your academics, your job, a marriage, building wealth or success, there are no shortcuts. No easy fixes in the real world, only hard work and the ability to endure the struggle. Calvin Coolidge said, nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. So don't put your reliance on winning the lottery. Bet on yourself. Remember, you guys are built different.
So while I'm getting my medals out here, I'm going to play a little bit off of Mr. Samuelson's speech. Darian, I now have the microphone. If you feel the need to share why you are the most popular Samuelson. And as an outgoing principal, I can tell you, you are my favorite class. What's that? Because, yeah, Calla says it's because we're funny. They are pretty funny. At this time, we'd like to recognize the graduates who are the babies of their families. This year, there are 10 seniors who fall into this category. Would the senior and parents or guardians, please stand to be recognized when I call your names. Reese Barrett. Parents, Marcia and Lauren Barrett. Luca Brooks. Parents, Christina and Ryan Parks. Ashlyn Bunker. Parents, Chandra Bunker, Joey Mefford, Chris Bunker, and Tiara Knutson. Aiden Coberly. Parents, Laura and Clark Coberly. Jerica Kaler. Parents, Jeremy Kaler and Josie and Pete Rittmiller. Garrett Locke. Parents, Ellen and Greg Locke. Aloria Miller. Grandparents and guardians, Connie and Bill Rainbolt. Caleb Obie. Parents, Justin and Tiffany McMillan. Dawson Smith. Parents, Christine and Wesley Smith. Haley Turner. Parents, Laura Knapp and Jason Turner. These seniors who sit before you are examples of the finest qualities of young adults. Your leadership, your involvement in athletics and activities, your academic achievements have all been a huge asset to our student body. Thank you for sharing these skills with us over the last 4 years. I wish you all the best as you take all of these strengths on the next part of your journeys. I now have the honor of presenting 3 awards, all of which are voted on by the high school faculty. This first award is given every year since 1930. It uses the criteria of scholarship, achievement, and loyalty to the school. The staff believes this student is our best example of what all of us, students and adults alike, should strive to be. This student receives a medal and will have his or her name added to the plaque which hangs in the hall of our high school. This year's recipient of the Balfour Award is Aiden Coberly. This second award goes to the senior who best exemplifies being a good citizen, someone who has been a force in making our school and community a better place. This year's recipient of the Citizenship Award is Allison Louderback. The final award I have to present goes to a student who the staff feels possesses the qualities of leadership, commitment, and determination. The person who demonstrates these while taking part in a wide variety of school activities where he or she has excelled. Our recipient of this year's Activities Award is Reese Barrett. So I had a little thing where I was going to share with you how much scholarship money they got, but you've heard that a couple of times now, so I won't go through that again. But you know that these seniors have received many, many awards besides these 3 that I just presented them with. At this time, I would like to invite Tyler Lindholm, State Policy Director for the United States Senator Cynthia Loomis, proud representative of the Navy and friend of education, to the stage for a special presentation.
I don't know why I always follow Linda on these deals. Need to grow up, Linda. I probably shouldn't say that. She's about to retire. She's got nothing to lose. I gotta. You know where those notes are? Said they were down here. Perfect. So Upton. What can I say about Upton? Every time I hear about some kid in Upton doing something grand or outstanding, at first it caught me off guard because it's such a small town, and then it just kept happening. over and over and over again. It wasn't that long ago that I was sitting in the crowd waiting to congratulate Annika over there when she was going off to Notre Dame from Upton, and then that same timeline, Miss Olson went off to West Point, and then here we are again, standing up here. I'm up here for Aiden. This is a phenomenal deal. Aiden Coberly is about to join the world's finest war college, Annapolis, the United States Navy, the greatest Navy on earth. And I was honored when asked to stand up here as a Navy veteran myself. You guys always ever wonder that, like, who in the heck joins the Navy when they live in the Black Hills? What are you running away from? I was asked that myself. When I was first contacted and was made note from Aiden that he was going to apply, I said, you know what, partner, I've got your back. I didn't need to have Aiden's back. So Senator Lummis, her go-to guy, is a former wing commander that also carried the football for President Reagan. And so for those of you that don't know what the football is, come and talk to me later, but it has to do with big booms, and thank goodness he didn't have to use it. His name is Tucker Fagan, and Tucker Fagan got I got a hold of Tucker after Aiden did his interview, and I said, hey, did you hear about this kid from up and Upton? And he said, boy, Tyler, we've got a lot of names. I can't have you putting your thumb on the scale here. I said, well, just hang on. It's Aiden Coberly. He said, oh, hell, they're fighting over him right now. John Barrasso wants him. Cynthia wants him. Liz Cheney wants him. And I was like, oh, so I don't really have to worry about this. He goes, no, but we've got to make sure Cynthia gets him. And Aiden caught Senator Lummis's attention in a big way. And there's a reason why it's so hard and why only the U.S. senators and the U.S. reps get to pick. It's because it's about leadership. It's about the world's finest leadership for the world's finest military force. And that's what Upton has produced yet again. So it's a big nod to a lot of you. So I'm going to go through my notes now that were prepared for me, so I better do a better job of that. So this is the blue and gold officer appointment. So it's my distinct pleasure to have the opportunity today to recognize the significant honor of Aiden Coberly has earned by receiving an appointment to the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. This year, Aiden was one of 14,000 students throughout the nation, 14,000, who applied for one of approximately 1,200 seats for the Naval Academy. The United States Navy is only accepting 1,200 folks for the class of 2026. The admissions process is unique and requires each student to apply and receive a nomination, most commonly from their U.S. representative or U.S. senator, complete a thorough medical exam, and successfully pass a physical fitness evaluation in addition to the usual submission of transcripts, recommendations, and essays. Screening is thorough with a focus on well-rounded individuals who have demonstrated leadership potential and a willingness to accept responsibility, as well as outstanding academic credentials. An appointment to the United States Naval Academy is equivalent to a full 4-year scholarship, including all tuition, room and board. You're going to think about that. About a year from now, you're going to be like, this is room and board? Anchors aweigh, shouldn't they? Medical and dental benefits, a monthly midshipman stipend. After completing the 4-year curriculum at the Naval Academy, students receive a Bachelor of Science degree in one of 26 majors and earn a commission as an officer of the United States Navy or Marine Corps. Aiden is one of 5 Wyoming students going to the Navy Academy this year. One of 5, right out of Upton. That's pretty special, folks. Upton High School should be very proud of Aiden's achievements, and on behalf of the Superintendent of the United States Naval Academy and my boss, U.S. Senator Cynthia Lummis, it is my pleasure to present this certificate of appointment to the Naval Academy class of 2026. Go Navy.
Mr. Lindholm thinks he's so funny. Aiden, may I be one of the first to tell you thanks for serving our country? We shall now proceed with the conferring of diplomas to the graduates by the school board. There will be a presentation of the graduates following the conferring of the diplomas. So once we finish giving them their diplomas, we have a special presentation in which we will be giving them these presents over here, and Mr. Coberly will share about that. Once the graduates go out, they're going to drop those off on their tables, and then they're going outside because Upton has a tradition of going outside and throwing their hats in the air. Now, based on the wind, they may have to go that way to pick them up, but they have said they would like to do that today despite the wind. Once they finish with their picture, they will come back in and they will gather they'll be at their tables down that hallway for people to go by and wish them well, congratulate them, or whatever. We will have some cake and punch and nuts and mints out in the commons area for people to hang out and visit and just socialize a little bit before they all take off for their parties. Mr. Coberly, Mr. Chairman, trustees, the students of the class of 2022 have completed all requirements of the State of Wyoming and Weston County School District number 7, entitling them to the diplomas which they are being given today. Here to present the candidates for graduation are Chairman Curtis Rankin, trustees Mark Mitchell, Ty Miller, new name, and Diana White. Thank you.
It's my privilege to hand out the diplomas to this class. And some of these students, my second generation since being in Upton, so it's very proud. Mason James Anderson. Nathan Thomas Baker. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Reese William Barrett. Cammie Elaine Biley. Luca Alphonse Brooks. Ashlyn Dawn Bunker. Calla Grace Butler.
Thank you.
Jerica Ann Kaler. Aiden Frank Coberly. Garrett Dean Lewis Locke.
Thank you.
Allison May Lauterbach. Aloria Payden Miller. Caleb Scott Obie. Dawson Michael Smith. Haley Lorraine Turner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Before we move on, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize someone else on the stage who is also graduating, so to speak. After 7 years of serving as the Upton High School principal, Mrs. Linda Crawford is retiring. During this time as principal, she has navigated the challenges of being a principal in the 21st century. There are many. She's done so in a tremendous fashion. She has led the way in the school's transition to personalized learning. She has also increased offerings in career and technical education courses, dual and concurrent college level courses, advanced placement courses, and has made it possible through her leadership to ensure the diplomas that you've just seen handed out to our graduates give these kids an advantage as they move out into the world. Please join me at this time in congratulating and wishing Mrs. Crawford well as she begins this new journey in her life as well. Now on the program, it says special presentation from the UEDB. What is the UEDB? It's the Upton Economic Development Board, which is one of the many things I do as a side gig as well. The Upton Economic Development Board is committed to promoting the best town on earth worldwide. And at this time, we also want to congratulate the graduates of Upton High School, the class of 2022, with a special presentation. There's a box of mailboxes over here, which evidently did not fall subject to the nationwide supply chain shortage, and we were able to get some of them in here. The future purpose of the mailbox is very important, class of 2022. We all know and understand the importance and significance of bringing these next generations back to our small rural communities. So we've added a scholarship that we've handed out since 2019 to encourage seniors to return to Upton following upon graduation, or at least going out and making their mark in the world, whatever possible. So seniors, we do want you to get an education, explore life on your own way, away from your parents, okay? Travel and do new things and meet new people. Embrace new opportunities that may come your way. Then we encourage you to come back to Upton in the Weston County area. Come back to your family ranches, family businesses, work here, open businesses here, and someday raise your families here. The magic thing about home is that it feels good to leave, but it feels even better to come back. So class of 2022, congratulations. Go out and do big things in your life, and then come back home and do some big things here too. Thank you for letting us be a part of your day. With the mailboxes, this gives them a link now to coming home and hanging a mailbox out on their front yard. Now, the irony is not lost on the Upton Economic Development Board that we all get our mail in a post office box in Upton, but it's very symbolic. Okay, so at this time, trustees, Mr. Miller, if everybody could help hand these out. You guys kind of stand up. They're going to get these mailboxes to you, and then we'll send you on your way here in a minute. Hey, Mark. So this is actually what they look like. Little Bobcat Pride, blue and white, going out the door with them. You need what? There, we'll get you one. Other recent alumni, if you didn't get one in the last few years, hook me, talk to me. I'll hook you up. So. Oh, no, that's Mason's box. Oh. You want the box, Mason? It's right there. All right. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduates of Upton High School 2022.
And thank you and congratulations. I was going to start off with the most favorite sandwich for this class, JoJo.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, they're going out front to take a picture, and then they will see you at the tables out here. If you'd like to head out and get some cake and punch or whatever out here in the commons, that'd be great. No, I didn't see one. I don't know. Maybe Clark has
I
it.
bet you Clark's got it. It seems like a